Thinking with the depth of life will have. Evening. Author of activist column, American politician Barbara Aaron W. has want to study a question. Why are the poor stuck in the bottom of society? She chose the 6 cities street and bring $1,000 to work in different professions, from the janitor salesman to service, who pretended to be grandma, did 6 other jobs, and went through countless hardships, cheap houses and working pants, struggle day and night. But no matter how hard you try, she can never save money and see no way out. She finally understood that the poor suffer low-level sufferings. This makes them stuck in a cycle, the plague of poverty and the busyness of suffering. In life there are millions of types, but meaningless sufferings only consume energy in vain. Before we explore deeper, don't forget to press channel follow and ring the bell notifications to continue receiving more secrets, money secrets to help you quickly reach freedom of finance and fortune. Hello to you and your friends. In the years 1990, a new term for working appeared: poor people who only know how to work hard and endure all kinds of hardships, but never. Now out of poverty they are like the donkeys were tied to the mortar, drunk. The work is heavier than others, but in the end, and just spinning tiredly on the spot. Warren Buffett once mentioned that such people in the financial companies, they themselves work hard all day, and after work, you still have to drive for 3 hours to earn more money to pay for your life. On weekends, they do extra work, part-time work from 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. At night, I only go home when I am tired and leave in the middle of the night, and then continue to get up early to go done the next day, no matter how intense the work. A huge job and not taking a day off. For months their lives still don't improve. Buffett has shown a way. Frankly, they only know how to work hard without ever thinking of enhancing efficiency or improve your skills. Extreme suffering is not necessarily a step forward up if you just keep your head down to work. It's easy to forget to raise your head and look up at you. Falling into the abyss of my life I have After graduating, the friend went to work at a bank and become a person. Officers. Translation: he carries with him a miserable thought, then succeed and plunge into the everyday he has to face. Enough. A lot of customers from morning to night. When you are so busy that you don't have time to drink a sip water at times of little rest. He again tried to revise the ideas, basic business practices and public processes, that every day after returning home, he still had to practice counting money to the point that his hands were mice. Stand in front of the mirror and practice laughing until both cheeks ached, and typed the keyboard all the way to late at night. The last roommate had to intervene, cards and asking him to rest his efforts. This force really made him fall in love. But a few years after, work at the bank is no longer attractive. I want to change my job at this time. Realize you're stuck in a position. Counting money and mastering the business of are the skills that an employee. Trading is necessary but should not be spent all the time and energy into these worthlessness such as. So he realized if he knew in the past, leverage banking as a platform to learn about finance and technology, internet or research professions. Emerging will probably have more options. If you pass the exam, the financial certificates have. His future value will be wide open. More now he regrets realizing, I put my energy in the wrong place. Quote of a journalist: we do it ourselves. Build a wall around itself with bricks. Work hard but get caught stuck in those 9 walls diligently. Ineffective efforts but still deadlocked. After all, suffering is not necessarily upward motivation that can become a force. Wrote down the writer Trong Duc Phan. Dividing suffering into 2 types. One is suffering, ignorance and namelessness of this kind of suffering, completely useless, making people not growing up as conscious suffering. This kind of size is an opportunity to change the number and turn the game around. In life, many people only endure the kind of suffering. First, they repeat the machine: staying up late at night, overtime, save every penny to rent the cheapest house and eat the food. The cheapest, however, the sufferings of the body. Such quality and labor are only low-level. Niet An once said that the true nature of suffering storage is a form of self-control and the ability to think deeply, high and low, and only when enduring the sufferings. Higher suffering than we can reap results and regenerate life. An entrepreneur wondered at why is there only 5 1,000ths people in the top industry until owning a company over 100,000 employees. He understood that most people will do anything To avoid thinking real people understanding endurance will study carefully the dichotomy of the problem and from there the practice effectively. Ngo Kwan, author of the floating book, The History of Global Technology, has ever been shared about how Mr. Hone, this product he is not in a hurry to stay up at night writing, that has spent a lot time to think about how to write well. This book is the first question that he asks himself. The question is why I wrote this book. Ngo Kwan has read a lot of books about calendars, science and technology history, but he received see that they all have two disadvantages, or is too difficult to understand, or is broken down into separate topics are only appropriate as a reference. So he came up with the idea of connecting history through the mausoleum technology glasses with two main themes: energy and information for systematization, the development of civilization. Humanity's second question that he pondered: think about how to use the document effectively. Non-documentary can be used. So Kwan has taken many more intercourse courses and go away to discuss and exchange with university professors on each basic issue listed in Mr. Search for Answers. Best for each problem he usually sits on alone, think carefully in the long time non-stop demolition and construction ideas until all the problems should be clear. The result is that when public history, global technology was born, it has received a lot of many praises. Endure suffering. High class is the suffering of thinking deeply. A hard-working person, but lazy thinking, will often achieve very few results and only at the bottom of the society. But when thinking has depth, life will reach the high. Two American-British computer experts. The Drift family has come up with a DERS model according to the level of proficiency of a person for a possible professional skill, divided into 5 rookie levels. Newcomers to improve people, expert and one-person expert, are at any skill level. They are in the corresponding class of Robert Society. Kiyosaki introduced the concept of traps. Race of rats. Man is like rats locked in iron cages. The legs ran continuously and rumbled, but when they woke up the next day, they were still stuck in. The reason is because they are busy with a blind way. There is no time to stop back and thinking. There is no time to deposition. This body of the world is never lacking people who work hard but have a hard time. Low-level suffering will paralyze people, and drowning only in precious sufferings can become a powerful energy, helping people take root deeply and develop strong. In the context of the prophet of Feng Menglong in the Ming Dynasty has a couplet that it is difficult to endure the hardship of becoming into a standing person. The meaning of this statement is very clear. It is only to endure a lot of hardships can achieve fame and wealth, become a successful person in the eyes. Over the years, many people believe in this. It seems that suffering is the thing inevitably in the life they are immersed in the busyness of physical strength, thereby receiving was comforted spiritually that I was very efforts. As a result, most of their lives are just know how to suffer but never become. The practical leader is living in the world. More or less everyone has to endure suffering, but you have to know how to choose to suffer. Do not suffer any kind of suffering. Endure the senseless sufferings. You will even more daring to pursue life what you want. You will have the illusion that I have suffered too much, many sufferings, but life is still not good. More than this was my limit and I no longer able to achieve happiness. Actually, you haven't chosen the right type of size. A professor of psychology at the University Harvard once said in his lecture, to become the upper class, you have to endure acute suffering. High sufferings are the sufferings that can help you become more valuable only if you actively endure severe sufferings. This new life becomes smoother. By thinking deeply and enduring of the intellect, you will realize that when you are still sharing a motel room and bamboo on the subway, the same person who bought a house or car and is living the life of your dreams, wish you still had to calculate every penny to buy fruits, worried about whether there is an excess budget is not enough. Many people have achieved. Is it because of financial freedom? You don't work as hard as them. In addition to working hard, they also often think deeply and endure the suffering of the mind. Wisdom. George Bernard Shaw once asked, ask your life is only 30,000 days you have. Take 3 days to think about yourself. What do you really like? Not many people are just busy walking. Forget to think about this path, where it leads. Do I want to go there without a bag? There are many ways to get to the destination you are going. In the right direction, no effort, No thinking. Like a boat drifting with the current. Your country put all your energy, but in the end, I have a person. You do the job of copywriting him. It seems that he is always busy writing and writing. No. I was very surprised and didn't understand. Why is he busier than others? Other working together as copywriting. Once I couldn't suppress my curiosity. Asked his friend, he said, although the number of British articles completed, not much. But every song he has to edit multiple times, sometimes up to 10 times. I told him that he was too strict to himself. But he replied that, because my boss was always dissatisfied. I immediately asked, were they are not satisfied? Correct that place. Yes, why fix it so many times? He said the boss just said he didn't write. True, but does not indicate that it needs to be corrected. I was surprised and told him, then you have to talk to your boss to find out the problem, where to fix it, and then think about how to fix it. Just started working again. He was tired. Answer: I don't have that much time and work. Hey, that time is enough to finish writing an article. Different. And as a result, he kept doing work without thinking, without a goal, leading to inefficient work. This not only consumes the entire his amount but also made him lose. Gradually became passionate about saving the word Han in the book Three Bodies. Wrote that if there was a human God, thinking that God will go up to you. People who don't think God even. I don't even want to go up. I don't think I've found the secret. The life we want, but a life without thinking, like Alice in Wonderland stands at the fork in the road. The road without knowing where I want to go. In that situation, regardless of following the child. Anyway, it all becomes useless. Thinking is a prerequisite of all work. If you don't think about it, actions will all fall into chaos. Life and work need people, firefighters, but they need more than who knows how to prevent problems before they occur. If you want everything to go smoothly, you need to be proactive. Thoughts that endure the suffering of the intellect. To avoid suffering a lot of physical strength over restraint and ring. Endure the suffering of self-discipline. Self-discipline is a hot topic online. Everywhere you search, there are a series of topics related to the importance of self-discipline. Has been deeply ingrained in the minds of many people, but few people can actually do it. Yes, that has a period of time. I have a phone call chat with his friend talks about the things that make. He was worried and insecure after his stay home because of the 2000 pandemic. His company went back to work, but his working state is very less often, making mistakes and being manipulated. Blame for why this is the case, because during the epidemic he stay up every night playing games. During the day, they hibernate during the day. Extremely abnormal, resulting in a state of he is extremely poor. So after work, it is also difficult to restore the state. Normally, in the end, he BNG billion, and said that it was indeed the desire to enjoy the end. Have to pay a higher price. His quote made me think a lot. Can't help but remind me of another friend at the beginning of his vacation. Surf the web, read news, watch movies, play games. Then he realized he couldn't continue to waste time like that, so he started writing books. Ask new skills. He realizes that changing, because lying down is so uncomfortable. Enhance yourself with peace of mind. Very much agree with his previous statement. The TV series is forever unwatchable. There is always a new version of the game, but today's time, if it is wasted, the future will punish you badly. Ring. Someone said a long vacation had changed all the days at home, really ruining the child. People who eat and play are usually what they eat. The soul of most people has a heart. Wanted to go to Tate Yen to pray, but in the end, died again in Calautrang. It's you in a normal state of most people is sad and depressed. Stagnation, waiting to die, is both unbearable. Is in the current state and does not have the ability to change. All can be lazy. Lazy as a pig, but not. The body is as lazy as a pig. So the change you want, if not starting from now, will never. Now you should think carefully about whether there is. That's right. No author Stephen Gray ever told about the experience of the grandfather. Said he initially planned to do 30-minute push-ups but played. It turns out that I can't complete it. He then changed his previous plan. First try to fill an online one, in addition to predicting how easy he was to complete. But because the psychology is more comfortable than the reality, each time he pushes up more than one. Over time, the habit is formed immediately. Even when it's not time to exercise, he will also persist in push-ups. Actually, very many things in life are like that. Never pursue perfection. Don't pursue good results first. Action first. Do it for 3 minutes. Here is the key. If you still don't do it, yes, I can only say that the pain that life and in your face are still not enough. Even those who succeed every day, living in a state of self-employment. This self-torture and self-torture will eventually become a self-imposed habit. Discipline eventually becomes confidence. In the bone marrow will eventually have a financial freedom or self-ownership. Be cruel to yourself or wait. Life is cruel to me compared to two. This is the more I want to accept the desolation. My ring for myself because of the cruelty of life will be even more painful than the parachute road. The tournament goes on and then comes every day 3 kilometers each. 1 book a week per month. Public preaching of possible self-discipline does not bring about major change immediately, but over time the energy accumulates, will become a huge suffering of the self. The law is worth putting up with and you need the endure it persistently maintain. Persist in reading and learning to endure the pain. The suffering of loneliness I have seen. Social media users share I like. Endure the suffering of reading. I also know that surfing short videos is fun. More fun and better stress relief. But if I get caught up in it, I'll lose it. Wastes more time and energy. I don't like a degraded version of the main. Today, the importance of reading books have been recognized by many people. Many parents have had a headache thinking about how to buying a house in an area with a school environment. Sex is good for children. Some people even and divorce because of this is also so much. Many children feel disoriented because of poor education and many children because they are too focused on studying. Mental illness. Why is it so difficult to study? We have to bear the suffering of. Learn that some people say that the books you have read hidden your temperament and scope. Your physique. Those books are like the meals you used to eat as a child. Gradually integrate into the flesh and blood to help you grow. Success and influence your vision about life. Previous thank you letter from Drive. Huang Kwok-bin of the Chinese Academy of Sciences. Kwok used to be on a hot search in the mail. He wrote, I have come a very long way. Endure a lot of hardship to be able to bring this Ang thesis to front. Friend Huang Kwok-bin was born in a poor families have to fish for eels, raising pigs and herding sheep to have money to go to school. He walked barefoot on the hot ground in the summer and wear thin clothes, crumble under winter dress. Getting wet to class is a miserable love story. Not very miserable. But Huang Kwok-bin, not afraid of hardship and progress and learning is his greatest joy and motivation. He understood very well that there was only suffering in learning. The future is possible. Reduce the last suffering with the energy of the. Usually he was admitted to the Academy of Sciences, China for higher education and now working at the intelligence lab. Tencent's artificial continues to conquer new successful peaks of a persons who are closely related to the how much they learned in a chapter. TV shows have a lot of kids when at a very young age who gave up on learning and walking into the factories where they work every day. Working in hot factories, perform repetitive tasks, sweating profusely and eating poor meals. They work almost 11 hours a day, sleeping in crowded dorm rooms. 8 people in a room and even have to queue. Wrote Abe the boy in the chapter. Chang said that he felt that in the past, the study was very hard. But unexpectedly, that life as a worker is even more miserable. Can't bear the suffering of studying. They have to endure the suffering of life. Children who leave school early, no degree without a background, and often do simple jobs, often have to be transferred from the factory, one factory after another's life. They are very precarious. Income is unstable, and always face the risk. Many people are unemployed just by experiencing difficulties in life and being numbered. It is only when you are buried that you really understand the sentence. If you don't study, you will gradually lose your rights. Insider picks. Live on social networks. Once upon a time. Survey on the 10 biggest regrets in life. Being the first is not. Pass the exam to get into a good university when you are young, leading to a mediocre life when choosing peace of mind at the age when it is necessary to study. You get back as a lifetime of inferiority. Society is growing rapidly. Just studying at a young age is not enough to maintain until the end of the lifetime of lifelong learning with. May sound scary at first, but both learning and training in life. Life is only for the purpose of helping you meet better version of yourself in these higher place. So what's sad for many people in the safe zone of life is a safe harbor, but it can also be golden chains inhibit personal development. Life doesn't always go smoothly, but only when bravely facing and proactively accepting the difficulties we have new. The path to the castle can be found. The merit of enduring high-class suffering means is willing to face the challenge of daring. break your limits and be relentless. Improving yourself is a positive attitude and necessary to implement the value of the and take the initiative in the life compared to trivial suffering. Premium offers many challenges and prices. More than it helps us to be relentless, grow and open up many opportunities. More finally, when we look back, we will, recognizing that efforts and perseverance previously became a valuable asset on the path of life, as if someone had say you shouldn't let yourself be too comfortable, because being too comfortable will cause problems. Just by constantly challenging yourself, we can express it in a way. Excellent. His own story on the large and colorful stage of the. Thank you for following the content today. Now if you feel my content has value, don't forget to share with friends and relatives. Please follow me for more information about the secrets of money. Please. Hello and see you again.